the great value to the human spirit of large carnivores is that it teaches humility. And goodness only knows that in the modern world, humility is the virtue in shortest supply. We are surrounded everywhere by human arrogance, and there is nothing like comparing your tracks to a grizzly bear's tracks to bring you humility, to teach you humility, to show us that we are not gods upon the planet, that we are not lords of all that we survey, but rather, in Aldo Leopold's words, we are plain members and citizens of the land community. What we want to do is become the kind of people, the humble kind of people who can protect self-willed nature, who can defend its right to exist for its own sake. And all of us have to stand up, all of us together, working to save untouched nature and to rewild the landscape as well. That is our challenge. Nobody has thought more about our relationship with wild lands, with self-willed lands and self-willed animals than Aldo Leopold, who died over 50 years ago. In 1909, Aldo Leopold caught a train after graduating from Yale University with a master's in forestry and took the train all the way west to the territory of Arizona. Arizona was not yet a state. And he went to work for the newly created Forest Service in eastern Arizona and the White Mountains Blue Range Mogollon Rim country, which at that time was a vast wilderness without roads. Leopold's first job for the Forest Service was to cruise timber. And he'd go into the wilderness on horseback for 2 weeks at a time with a crew of men counting trees. Forest Service couldn't log those trees because there were no roads, but they wanted to know what was there. But on one of those trips, Leopold and his men were about a week into the wilderness. They had stopped for lunch on a rocky little rimrock overlooking a rushing stream below. And they sat there and ate their greasy sandwiches of biscuits and bacon. And they saw a doe ford the stream below them. At least they thought it was a doe at first because of her long legs. But when a bunch of wolf pups came running out of the willows on the other side of the stream to greet their mother, Leopold realized that it was an old mama wolf they were seeing. Well, in those days, any wolf you saw was a wolf you shot. And Leopold and his men ran to their horses, pulled the 30-30s out of the scabbards, and began to blast away downhill at the wolves. Well, if you hunt, like I do, you know it's hard to aim downhill. But a lot of lead went down the hill that day. An old mama wolf crumpled. One of the pups dragged her shattered legs back in the willows to die a slow death. Leopold and his men mounted up and rode down the hill to skin out the varmints and pack their hides back to Springerville to sell. But something happened to Aldo Leopold that day in 1909. And he wrote decades later, "We reached the old wolf in time to watch a fierce green fire dying in her eyes. I realized then, and I've known ever since, that there was something new to me in those eyes, something known only to the wolf and to the mountain. I was young then and full of trigger itch. Because fewer wolves meant more deer, I believed no wolves would mean a hunter's paradise. But after watching the green fire die, I realized that neither wolf nor mountain agreed with such a view." Aldo Leopold helped exterminate wild wolves in the Southwest. They've been gone since 1935. But a few years ago, wild Mexican wolves were reintroduced into eastern Arizona. And after looking over the map, I realized that by pure serendipity, those first wolves were released only a mile from where Aldo Leopold shot the green fire wolf. That we have come full circle to be able to welcome the wildebeest back into our hearts. And so join with me. Join with me in celebrating the rewilding of the continent, the return of the wolf, of the jaguar, and the return of the wild in the human heart. Thank you.
Dave Foreman.